Hi, my name is Will and welcome to the Distorted Transmission for today. I'm talking to Steve from Wellington's Bulletbelt. How are you?
I'm great, Will, and thanks again for having me on board. It's awesome to catch up again.
First, I guess, intros, who's in the band. The band's members change from time to time, so I think it's still the same lineup as last time, but give us the intros.
Yeah, so the lineup's nice and solid at the moment. We're smooth sailing. Everyone's happy. We're all working well together. It's a great team unit. So obviously myself on drums, Josh, Desmond O'Brien, who's been with us since 2017 on guitar. My boy Tim on bass, who's been there, since about 2011 now. We had Diego join us on vocals. He's been with us over 2 years now, doing a great job. And the newest member is young Isaac, who joined us a little over a year ago. And yeah, he's brought a lot to the band as well. So happy campers, and yeah, really positive vibe in the team at the moment.
The band's been around for a while, and it's unlikely that someone watching is oblivious to the band's existence. But for the benefit of all, can you sort of give me a brief rundown of the band's history? I believe you sort of started around 2009. Yeah, and maybe some of the highlights that you've managed to achieve over that time.
Sure, yeah, it kick-started in 2009, really as a two-piece black metal band, kind of influenced by the early 90s Norwegian scene, I guess. Ross, Mellon and I kicked it off. And a few members come and gone since then. We've gone a few lineup changes. Started with our first album, Down in the Cold of the Grave, in 2013. Then we had Rise of the Banshee and 9 Centuries in 2014 and 17. Lineup change again. We had Paul Roberts joining us on vocals for Warlords, which came out in 2020. That was our 4th album. And then we've had Diego come on board, like I said, over 2 years ago. And we released our latest album, Burn It Up, September last year.
2023 was a massive year for the band. Can you give me some of the highlights, I guess, including the album?
Yeah, it was a big year for us. So we actually finished recording the album in post-production in late 2022. And then, as you know, it takes a while to get to the finish line with beyond post-production when you're dealing with pressing vinyl, etc., and looking at release dates. So we released it in September 2023. Album went really well for us, probably our most successful album, a little more diverse, a little more going on, probably a little change vocally for some people. Debuted at #1 on the New Zealand album charts, which was huge for us. That is certainly down to physical sales. So hats off to everyone who pre-ordered vinyl, bought CDs. That's really what got us to that position. Yeah, released the album. Oh, sorry, I should just get back a little. We did a few warm-up shows leading to that. We supported Arch Enemy, and we had the Sacred Right Violet show. So we had some really good quality shows early 2023 before album release. Album came out. We didn't really do a full New Zealand tour, but we did a few shows. I think we played Christchurch, Dunedin, Auckland, Wellington. I think that was it, because September we headed over to Europe for our maiden European tour, which was kind of 12 months, maybe 24 months of planning. We were actually planning to do it a little earlier, and then obviously COVID came along and things changed. So we managed to get over there, and we got on a really cool tour with some great bands, a band from Brazil, a band from India, a band from Hungary. So we all lived with them on a tour bus for 3 weeks all through Europe, and played some really amazing shows and met some cool people and played some iconic venues that I kind of grew up, that some of my favorite bands played. So yeah, really huge year for us. And it was, it was obviously the album release and then the European tour were the huge highlights for us.
I was thinking earlier today that Bulletbelt has 2 B's in it, and that stands for Busy Boys. And 2024 is no exception. So what's in the pipeline for 2024? You got heaps of shows all over the place.
Yeah, well, we kickstarted 2024 with 2 great shows with DRI, really iconic crossover band who came through. So we played Auckland and Wellington. They were really fun shows, really energetic shows. We haven't played since, but the remainder of our year in terms of playing is very much geared towards overseas. We only have one New Zealand date lined up thus far, but we are hitting Australia late August into September. We are firstly playing Melbourne on a Thursday night, which is a little odd for us. Normally, Melbourne's kind of the hot spot. So when we tour Australia, it would normally be a Saturday night because that's normally the big show. But we have a big show in Brisbane on the Saturday. So we're Adelaide, then we're flying. Sorry, we're Melbourne, then we're flying to Adelaide. Second time playing Adelaide, a little bit out of the way. Really cool scene there. Those a lot of great bands come from Adelaide and really helpful promoters who have helped us and jumped on board and putting on an awesome show there. So we play Adelaide on the Friday, and then we're heading to Brisbane on the Saturday. We're playing a festival called Necrosonic, which is a new festival. There's about 30 bands playing. It's at a venue that's around a 600 cap. The promoters are doing a fantastic job so far. Like, the promotion for this thing has been like next level. Get to play for a whole bunch of cool bands like Psychroptic and Misery, and there's a bunch of Australian bands that have reformed for it. So it's shaping up to be a really exciting show. So then we're back home and we have a little bit of downtime, and then we are heading back to Japan in late October into November. We've currently got 6 or 7 shows lined up. I can't say where they all are at the moment. I'm just working with promoters, and it's pretty much locked in. Couple of new places we haven't been to, which will be exciting. And we get to finish our tour playing at the Asakusa Death Fest, which I think we bumped into you at the temples there last time we were in town in 2018. A little further down the track. I can't give away too many details, but it's actually Bulletbelt's 15th anniversary birthday around late October. 15 years to the day since I text Ross and said, "Man, you have a guitar? Do you want to start a band?" So we are home turf. Can't give too much away, but I've got everything ready. The announcement is coming at the start of July. We've got a killer lineup. We're bringing in some special guests. We're going to go. We got that. We're deep into pre-production on album 6 at the moment, so that's been keeping us really busy. And we have another very, very, very special project we've been working on, which I can't give too much away about at the moment, but it's pretty exciting for us, and we're pretty stoked where this is going.
So the 15th birthday special show. Wow. I suppose, what is it now? Yeah, 2024. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, time flies, man.
I was going to start talking to you about the Burn It Up album because, yeah, it's a little different. Burn It Up was released last September, as you mentioned, and a new vocalist, Diego, is a bit different as a beast than your previous vocalists, meaning that he has transformed the overall band sound to something closer to sort of a classic metal vocal or possibly like a power metal vocal. Along with the dirtier and perhaps more guttural vocals that I've come to expect of Bulletbelt of old. Bulletbelt is often evolving or morphing as musicians come and go within the lineup, but I feel for the first time the songs as well have sort of been molded in a way that conforms to this new subgenre shift from sort of a black and thrash outfit, which is what I sort of envisage Bulletbelt to be. But the sort of the varnish on top of it and the delivery sort of creates a completely different musical entity. It's almost like a reinvention of the band in a way, like when you listen to the new album versus a lot of the old albums. It almost, I mean, you can hear similarities, but it's almost like a new band in a way. What are your thoughts of this sort of drastic evolution in sound?
There's always been a real classic metal influence, and you know, those great albums of the 80s, like I said, the Dios and the Ride the Lightnings and so on, and Wasp has always been a big one for me. The way they put the albums together and where the songs were placed and how the albums flowed. And I think our albums have always kind of been like that. And then we go back to the last album, the previous album, Warlords. It was, I think, starting to head in that direction we definitely didn't have someone who could pull off the clean singing vocally. So that's why we've never kind of used it. But now we have Diego in the band, and he's got such a wide array, and he can sing clean, and he can do all the guttural stuff and the stuff we've always done. So it would be criminal for us not to use it. So to me, it's just it just feels like a natural evolution. It's not like we're jumping from one thing to the other. My favorite bands are always evolving. I even, when my favorite bands make an album that everyone hates, for example, Saint Anger. Let's go for the classic. I would rather that the bands that I love try and do something different than just keep peddling the same shit album to album. So yeah, I guess that's where that's coming from.
The vocal style has changed over the band's history many times, but the bed of the music has always remained relatively consistent up to this one. And I guess, as you say, it's because Diego's vocal capabilities mean that he's able to do the guttural stuff and also the clean stuff. So maybe the band thought, well, since we have this opportunity to sort of try this new style of singing, we can evolve the music to sort of conform or complement the vocal itself. Would that be an accurate assessment?
Yeah, I think so. But saying that, we'd actually written most of these songs before he even came on board. Like, we were literally 90% songs were written before Diego kind of joined up. I guess another part of it is we've found what moves people live, and that's kind of, I guess, another reason we're heading in this direction. We want to be a really good live band. We're not, we're not hooded, corpse painted up, trying to be evil on stage. We're more heading towards more being a party band and having a good time and having lots of energy on stage. So I guess we're kind of heading in that direction.
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess maybe that's just a testament to the power of what a different vocalist with different capabilities can bring, and how it can actually morph the overall sound of a song. Even just changing the vocalist can make a drastic difference. Like if it was just that sort of gravelly vocal throughout, maybe it would make the music sound more like Bulletbelt, because the vocals changed. It gives an opinion, or like, how can I say it? It gives the impression of it being different when it necessarily, where it perhaps isn't. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I get it. Look, and we've been playing that other way for 13, 14 years. It's, for us as people and as musicians and as a band, it's really exciting for us to start to head in a different direction.
It shows maturity in the songwriting as well. So well done.
Thank you. No, that's been certainly. We have learned the value of pre-production, and as you probably know in your band, spending a lot of time working on pre-production and fine-tuning the songs and finding what works and not rushing that aspect, and going over it with a fine-tooth comb is really important for us.
Yeah, we're constantly rewriting stuff every fucking week. All right, cool. Well, that's pretty much all the hot topics, I guess, of the band. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the end of the interview, just to round it out?
Just everyone out there, thanks for your support as always. We really appreciate it. I know myself as a punter, how hard it is to get it out of the house at times as we get older and we get more responsibilities in our lives. So I'm trying my best to go out and see as many gigs and bands as I can. So I just really encourage everyone to keep supporting the live music, because I think, as I said last time in this interview, the scene in New Zealand at the moment is amazing. Like, there are just so many great bands dropping so many great releases on a weekly basis. I think we're in a really good spot.
Well, hopefully after you've done the Asakusa Death Fest and all the other shows, maybe you can do a few shows in New Zealand, maybe later on at the end of the year, or maybe the beginning of next year, and people can have the opportunity to come and check out your new stuff in the flesh. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
All right, mate. Well, thanks very much for the chat. I'll get this edited up and out for people to check out. So yeah, cheers. Say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Cool. And thanks for watching.